Hey Virgo, go to your calendar. I mean it. Stop scrolling and look at the square for this coming Friday. If you use the calendar on your phone, flick forward until you see it. If you still use paper, find the page. If you have a wall calendar in the kitchen, the one with the curling edges and the coffee ring from March, look at the block for Friday. Stare at the number. Let it lose its meaning for a second. Let it stop being a date and start being a door, because that is exactly what it is, a door. And on the other side of that door is something that has been walking toward you for longer than your mind can account for, wearing the quiet shoes of inevitability, moving through the dark corridors of your life without hurry, because it knew this thing, this information, this revelation, it knew exactly when you would be ready to receive it. It chose Friday, not Thursday, not Saturday, Friday. And if you have felt in the last week a strange pull toward that specific day, a low frequency hum every time someone mentioned the weekend, a subtle wrongness in your stomach when you glanced at the date, that was not anxiety. That was the echo of its footsteps, getting close enough for your body to hear. You think you know what shock feels like. You have been surprised before. The phone call that came too early, the test result that rewrote a year, the message that appeared at the wrong time from the right person. But those were rehearsals. Those were the universe testing your reflexes, making sure your nervous system could handle voltage, because what is arriving this Friday carries a different weight entirely. It is not a disaster. I need you to hear that with your whole chest, not just your ears. It is not a disaster. It is a dislocation. A bone in the skeleton of your reality that has been subtly out of place for years, maybe decades, and on Friday you are going to hear the crack as it finally snaps back into alignment. The sound will be loud, the sound will hurt. But the pain is the sound of healing, and the shock is the sound of a lock turning that you did not know was rusted shut. I want to walk you through the architecture of this day, hour by hour, because foresight is the only armor that does not weigh you down. Thursday night first. The eve. You will go to bed at your usual time, or what passes for usual now. You will set your alarm. You will perhaps take a shower and notice that the water pressure feels different, heavier, as if the pipes themselves are holding their breath. You will lie down. You will close your eyes. And then you will not sleep. Not entirely. You will hover in that thick, syrupy space between waking and dreaming where the mind stops editing and starts receiving. In that space, you will see a face you have not thought about in a long time, or you will hear a voice saying a sentence that makes no sense yet. Or you will find yourself standing in a room from your childhood, staring at an object that was never important before, but suddenly glows with significance. Do not dismiss this. Do not roll over and force yourself into unconsciousness. Let it play. Thursday night is the preview. Friday is the feature. The dream is not random. It is the delivery system softening the ground so the seed can enter without bouncing off concrete. When you wake on Friday, it will be earlier than you planned. Look at the clock. It will probably be 5:17 or 6:33 or some other number that repeats or adds up to something that feels like a code. You will lie there for a moment and feel that the quality of the morning is wrong. Not bad, just wrong. The light will look older than it should. The silence will have texture like fabric. You will hear sounds from outside, birds, traffic, wind that seem to be arranged in a pattern, as if the world is tuning its instruments before the concert. Your body will feel different. Your hands, specifically. They will feel slightly too large for your wrists, or too warm, or they will tingle in a way that makes you open and close your fingers just to confirm they still belong to you. They do. But they are anticipating. Every cell in your palms knows that today you will touch something physically or metaphorically that will change the electrical charge of your skin. You will get up, you will move through your routine. The coffee will taste different. Not rancid, not better, just different. Like someone swapped the beans in the night and forgot to tell you. The shower gel will smell sharper, more medicinal, as if it is trying to wake you up more aggressively than usual. Your reflection in the mirror will hold your gaze a half second longer than normal, and in that half second, you will see something flicker behind your own eyes. A knowledge, a pre-knowing. You will look away because it will frighten you, and that is fine. Fright is just excitement holding its breath. Then you will step out into the day, and here is where the first strange thing happens. The world will be too cooperative. The train will come exactly as you arrive. The traffic light will stay green long enough. The email you were dreading will not be there, or if it is, it will contain a single sentence that dissolves the dread instead of feeding it. People will look at you differently, not because you look different, but because the frequency you are emitting has shifted. You are broadcasting on a channel that makes strangers turn their heads. You will catch someone staring at you on the bus or in the elevator or across the parking lot, and when your eyes meet, they will not look away quickly. They will hold the contact for a moment, as if they recognize something in you that you have not yet recognized in yourself. They are seeing the door opening. They are seeing the light from the other side bleeding through the cracks in your composure. The morning will pass in a haze of almost normality. You will work, you will talk, you will eat something and forget what it tasted like 10 minutes later. Your mind will be elsewhere, tethered to a moment you cannot name, circling it like a shark circles a boat. You will check your phone more than usual, not because you are expecting a message, but because your hand seems to need the reassurance that the world is still there, still digital, still mundane, still safe. It is safe, but it is not mundane, not today. Then comes the afternoon. Between 2 and 4, depending on your time zone, the pressure will drop. You will feel it in your sinuses. First, a lightness, then in your chest. A hollow that is not quite anxiety, but its neighbor. You will want to stand up and walk around for no reason. You will want to open a window even if it is cold outside. You will want to be near water, or if you are already near water, you will want to be near stone. Your body is trying to ground itself because it knows the voltage is about to spike. If you can, step outside at this time, even for 2 minutes, even if it is just to stand on concrete and look at the sky. The sky on Friday afternoon will look staged. The clouds will be arranged in a way that feels deliberate. You might see a shape, you might see a color that does not belong greenish or too bright, a silver, and you will blink and it will be gone. That was the signal. the handshake between dimensions, the confirmation that the delivery is on schedule. Now, the moment itself. I cannot tell you the exact minute because it moves, it shifts based on your own receptivity, but I can tell you the container. It will arrive in a container you trust. It will not come as a scream, it will come as a whisper that lands like a scream. It might be a sentence spoken by someone who has never lied to you, suddenly confessing that they have been lying all along. It might be a document you stumble across while looking for something else entirely, a letter, a file, a photograph tucked inside a book you have not opened since 2019. It might be a notification on a screen that you tap without thinking, and the words that appear rearrange the furniture of your mind so completely that you have to sit down. It might be a stranger saying something in passing that should mean nothing, but instead unlocks a vault you have been carrying since childhood. It might be your own voice, saying something you did not plan to say in a conversation that was supposed to be about groceries or weather or traffic, and the moment the words leave your mouth, you will know they are true, and you will know that you have known this truth for years, but buried it so deep you needed the shock of hearing it aloud to finally claim it. However it arrives, the sensation will be identical. Time will not stop. That is a myth. Time will accelerate. Your heart will perform a single violent somersault, and then it will settle into a rhythm so slow and so loud that you will hear it in your teeth. Your vision will narrow, not to darkness, but to a tunnel of perfect, terrible clarity. You will see the grain of the table in front of you. You will see the individual fibers of the carpet. You will see the pores on the skin of the person speaking to you, if there is a person, and you will notice that they are sweating, or that they are not breathing, or that their hands are doing something involuntary, picking at a cuticle, tapping a pen, twisting a ring, and you will understand in that hyper focused instant that they are as terrified as you are, because what is being revealed is not yours alone. It is a shared secret that one of you was keeping, or a shared truth that both of you were avoiding, or a shared history that has been edited by mutual consent and is now being presented in its director's cut. Uncensored, ungraded, raw. The first emotion will not be sadness. It will not be joy. It will be disorientation. The floor will feel tilted. You will reach for something to steady yourself, a wall, a chair, the back of a couch, and your hand will find it, but the information will not steady. It will keep moving, rearranging, connecting dots that were previously in different rooms of your mind. You will think of a conversation from 3 years ago and suddenly understand what was really being said. You will remember a look someone gave you, a look you filed under awkward or tired, and you will refile it under guilty or knowing or protective. You will understand why a door closed in 2021. You will understand why another door opened in 2023 for no reason you could name. You will understand why certain people drifted away from you without conflict, and why certain people clung to you with a desperation that always felt slightly out of proportion. The shock is not the information itself. The shock is the map it reveals. The map of your life that shows you have been walking through a story far more intricate than the one you were told. Your body will react before your mind catches up. This is crucial. I want you to be prepared for the physicality of it so you do not mistake it for illness. Your fingertips will go cold. The blood will retreat from your extremities and pool around your core, as if your body is trying to protect the organs it considers essential. Your hearing will dim. Voices will sound as if they are coming through water. You will taste copper or aluminum or something metallic that has no source in your mouth. Your scalp will tighten. Your eyes will burn not with tears, but with the dryness of someone who has stared into a windstorm. You may feel a sudden, overwhelming need to urinate, or to vomit, or to laugh. All of these are normal. All of these are the body's way of purging the old chemistry so the new information can be metabolized. Let it happen. If you need to excuse yourself and go to a bathroom and stare at your own face in the mirror until the stranger looking back at you starts to look like you again, do it. If you need to walk around the block in shoes that are not meant for walking, do it. If you need to sit in your car in a parking lot and grip the steering wheel until your knuckles match the color of the moon, do that too. The shock is a wave. It will crest, and it will break, and it will recede. You will not drown. You are a better swimmer than you know. Then, after the physical storm, comes the silence. A silence so dense it has weight. You will be alone with the revelation, even if you are in a crowd. Even if the person who delivered it is still standing in front of you, talking, explaining, apologizing, defending, their voice will become a texture, not a language. You will nod at the right times. You will say, I see, or I understand, or nothing at all. But inside, the silence will be doing its work. The silence is the architect. It is taking the rubble of what you believed and beginning to sketch the new structure. In that silence, you will feel something unexpected. Not peace, not yet, but space. A vast, clean space where before there was only clutter. The clutter was made of assumptions, of half-truths, of stories you told yourself because the real story was too heavy to carry. The shock has cleared the clutter. The floor is visible now, and the floor is solid. It has always been solid. You just could not see it under all the debris. I want to tell you what this revelation is not, because your mind will try to categorize it immediately, and categorization is a trap. It is not a betrayal in the simple sense. It is not a winning lottery ticket. It is not a medical diagnosis or a legal document or a romantic confession, though it might wear the costume of any of those things. It is a key that is the only category that fits. It is a key that opens a door you have been leaning against for years, thinking it was a wall. And behind that door is not a treasure room full of gold. Behind that door is a corridor. A long, straight corridor with doors on either side, each one leading to a part of your life that was sealed off because you did not have the key. Your relationship with your own power, your relationship with your own anger, your relationship with the person you were supposed to become before someone convinced you that becoming was too dangerous. The key fits all of these doors. The shock of Friday is just the moment the key enters the lock. The evening of Friday will feel like a different planet than the morning. You will not be hungry, or you will be ravenous. You will not be tired, or you will be exhausted in a way that sleep cannot fix. You will want to be alone, or you will want to be surrounded by noise, by music so loud it drowns out the ringing in your mind. Follow the want. Do not judge it. If you need to sit in a diner and drink coffee until your hands vibrate, do it. If you need to run until your lungs burn, do it. If you need to call the one person in the world who has never asked you to be anything other than what you are and say nothing, just breathe into the phone while they breathe back, do it. The evening is for integration. The evening is for letting the key turn slowly without forcing it. There is a specific danger on Friday night, and I need you to know it so you can step around it. The danger is the urge to act immediately. The urge to confront, to confess, to quit, to sign, to burn bridges, to build bridges, to do something dramatic and irreversible while the adrenaline is still singing in your veins. Do not. Friday is for receiving. Friday is not for deciding. The information is too new. It is too hot to hold. If you make a permanent choice while it is still cooling, you will shape the choice around the shock instead of around the truth. Give it 48 hours. Give it the weekend. Let the key finish turning in the lock before you decide which door to walk through first. Saturday morning will feel like waking up after surgery. You will be groggy. You will be tender. You will reach for the old assumptions and find them gone, and for a moment you will panic because the familiar pain was at least familiar. But then you will notice something. The light in the room will look different. Not because the sun changed, but because your eyes have been recalibrated. You will see colors you were filtering out before. You will see the dust motes dancing in a beam of light, and instead of thinking, I need to clean, you will think, I am alive, and the air is full of tiny worlds. That thought will seem ridiculous. It will also be true. The shock has stripped away a layer of cynicism that you did not know you were wearing, a layer so thin it had become indistinguishable from your actual skin. You are raw now. Rawness is vulnerability, but it is also sensitivity. And sensitivity is the only state in which real joy can be felt. By Sunday, the map will be legible. You will sit somewhere quiet, perhaps with a cup of something warm, and you will trace the lines of your life with this new key in your hand, and you will see the pattern. You will see why you were drawn to certain failures. You will see why you sabotaged certain successes. You will see why you loved the people you loved and why you feared the people you feared, and why the person you have been most afraid of all along was not an enemy, but a version of yourself that you were not ready to meet. The shock of Friday was the introduction. The weekend is the conversation, and the conversation is just beginning. I need to give you one practical instruction for Friday itself, and I want you to treat it as seriously as you would treat a medical prescription. When the shock arrives, when the information lands, when the world tilts and your hands go cold and your hearing dims, do not speak for 60 seconds. Do not post, do not text, do not call. Do not narrate the moment into existence for an audience that is not there. Let it be yours, alone. 1 full minute of silent ownership. Count the seconds if you have to. In that minute, place your hand on your chest and feel your heart doing its work, pumping blood through a body that is still standing despite the earthquake. That minute is a womb. It is where the new version of you is conceived. If you speak too soon, if you externalize before the internalization is complete, you will birth a premature version of the truth, one that needs incubators and tubes and constant validation. Give it the full minute. Let it gestate in silence. After the minute, if you must write, write on paper. Not on a screen, not on a device that can be screenshotted or cloud stored or auto-corrected. Find a pen. Find a surface that can hold the weight of ink. Write what you know. Do not write what you feel. Feelings are weather. Write what you know, even if it is only 1 sentence. This changes everything. I was right. I was wrong. I am free. I am furious. Whatever the sentence is, let it be short. Let it be heavy. Let it sit on the page like a stone you can throw later, or build with, or simply hold in your palm to remind yourself that you were here, in this body, on this Friday, when the floor became a door. There is a color associated with this day for you, and I see it clearly. It is a color that will appear somewhere in the container of the revelation. A flash of teal, or the specific blue of a gas flame, or the amber of old whiskey held to light. When you see it, you will know. It will be the confirmation that this is not random. It will be the universe winking at you across the table, letting you know that it dealt this hand deliberately, that you were not the victim of chance, but the recipient of a coded message that took years to travel from sender to receiver. Notice the color. Remember it. It will reappear in the next 3 months, at moments when you need to be reminded that the shock was real, that the door was real, that the key still works. You will not sleep well on Friday night. Accept this. Do not fight it with pills or with screens or with the desperate scrolling that passes for comfort. Lie in the dark and let the new map unfold behind your eyelids. Let the corridors extend. Let yourself walk them in imagination, trying doors, finding rooms you did not know you owned. One of those rooms contains a version of you that you abandoned because the world told you it was impractical. Another contains a conversation you have been rehearsing for years but never had the courage to start. Another is empty except for a window that looks out on a landscape you have never seen but somehow recognize as home. These are not dreams. These are blueprints. And Friday night is the first time you have been allowed to see them because Friday is the night the architect finally handed over the plans. I want to say something about the person who may be involved in this revelation, because for many of you, there is a specific face attached to the shock. This person is not a villain. They are not a savior. They are a messenger, and messengers are rarely thanked because they bring news that disrupts the peace. If they tell you something that wounds you, remember that the wound was already there. They are just the mirror that finally showed it to you. If they tell you something that liberates you, remember that the liberation was already yours. They are just the hand that turned the key. Do not worship them. Do not punish them. Thank them, if you can, in the silence of your own heart, and then let them go back to their own story. They have their own Friday coming. Everyone does. The week after Friday will feel like learning to walk in gravity that has shifted by 10%. Everything will be the same, and nothing will be the same. Your job will be the same desk, the same tasks, but your relationship to it will have changed because you will know something now that the desk does not know. Your home will be the same rooms, the same objects, but they will look like props from a play you have stopped performing. Your friends will be the same people, but you will see, with terrible clarity, which ones are walking beside you on the new map and which ones are still circling the old landmarks, waiting for you to come back to a self you have already outgrown. Be gentle with them. They do not have your key. They cannot see your corridors yet, but do not slow down for them. Do not pretend the door is still a wall just because they are leaning on it. There is a sound that will accompany the revelation for some of you. Not a spoken word, but a sound. The click of a lock, the rustle of paper that has been folded for too long, the sudden cessation of a noise you did not know you were hearing until it stops. When you hear it, let it anchor you. It is the sound of the old contract being voided. The sound of the new terms being printed in a language your cells understand, even if your mind is still translating. You are not the same person who woke up on Friday morning. You are the person who survived the shock, who held the key, who walked the corridor, who looked through the window at the landscape of home and did not flinch from the distance that remains between here and there. So go now. Find your calendar. Look at Friday again. Let the number become a door. Let the door become a promise. And when Friday comes, when the afternoon pressure drops and your hands tingle and the world arranges itself too cooperatively, stand still. Stand still and let the shock find you. You are ready. You have been ready longer than you know. The only thing left is the turning of the lock, and the lock is already turning. Listen for the click. It is closer than your next breath.